All right, folks, I haven't been able to give you an update on the gardens this year. I've been very busy getting pulled 50 different directions, and none of them include the gardens, unfortunately. So I just got the old kind of victory garden, the old garden that we let rest last year, tilled the best I can anyway. We've got zucchini. There's one broccoli we're growing in a pot there. Tomatoes, as you can see, pickled cucumbers. We're trying to grow muskmelon here in this row. We'll see how that goes. I never have good luck with that kind of stuff. We've got beans here in this row, peas, lettuce, and peppers, which are struggling. And then in this mess here, we've got 2 rows of eggplants that I started indoors. They were doing great indoors. Outdoors, they seem to be struggling. Now, the thing about this dirt here in this garden is that it rested for a year, and it didn't seem to really make a difference, even though I put, I can't remember what it was, buckwheat in here. That didn't really grow. I'm starting to think that this garden is useless at this point, but that's not possible, right? So I've tilled it. Hopefully that makes a difference. Oh, and I missed, we're growing a line of dill as well. It seems to be struggling. Almost everything in this garden seems to be struggling. If I'm being totally honest, I'm not really, except for the tomatoes and the cukes and the beans, but most everything. Oh, and of course the zucchini, because that stuff's easy to grow. So over here, I planted more cucumbers that I got from the local shop. This is still the same dirt as there. And that's the newer garden that way, where I planted tobacco last year. I went lighter on the tobacco this year. I actually put some up by the house. I'll show you that in a little bit. That one also needs to be weeded. But we've been putting in Starlink, and I've had to drop many trees just to get a clear view. So here are the corn rows. This is a strain of white corn. You can see the corn growing. It's kind of hit or miss, if I'm being totally honest, on the corn. I don't know if it's the type of corn that I grew or what, but a lot of it didn't come up. I planted probably close to 90 corn seeds or kernels, whatever you want to call them. And it's kind of hit or miss. It goes all the way down. You can see where it's growing in that grass that needs tilled, mowed, and then tilled. In between, I put pumpkins because you can do that. So I placed the pumpkins in. These were the ones that were taken over inside. I've got new ones that I started. You can see over here in that tray. That's one of about 3 or 4 trays. And it was very hot when we planted them. They got beat up pretty good, moving them around. So they're struggling, but the other ones are fine. Some of them aren't. Some of them are doing pretty good. Now, they've already got flowers on them. I don't know what we're going to do if we start getting pumpkins now. A little early, but it is what it is. But you can see some of them are struggling. Like I said, this needs tilled, so the dirt is, from all the rain we've had, pretty pressed down. And that's pretty much it down here this year. Yeah, see, you got like a random corn there, a random corn right there, different stalks. And it grew pretty good down here where the grass is. Also, you can see mixed in with milkweed. Trying not to step on any of the corn since so much of it didn't come up. But this used to be where the tobacco is. This year I decided to make it into the corn. I can't really plant more. I don't have any of that particular type of corn. You're not really supposed to plant 2 types of corn together because they crossbreed and you don't get what you want, supposedly. There's another corn growing next to these weeds. But you can see it's been a struggle. I'll give you the update up by the house. So you can see, I don't know if I ever showed any of that before. This used to have trees all along it. There's 3 right here on the other side of this pine that need to come down. The Starlink's out there on the edge of our property. That's that square thing right there. Works pretty well. That tree has to come down because it's hanging over the house. That doesn't really have much to do with Starlink. But this is the garden up by the house. These are down the middle, the sunflowers. Now, something I learned about sunflowers, if you want them to be taller, a lot taller, you can just pick the flower off if it starts developing too early, and it'll keep growing upwards. These are also cucumbers with peppers in the center. And like I said, this needs weeded. Purple beans growing over there. I shared a photo of those. And here are the other 3 trays of pumpkins over there, kind of blended in. Excuse me. The strawberries are doing great. This is the first year we've produced enough to matter. So they're definitely established. So it's hard to tell right now, but you can see strawberries up in there. If I zoom maybe, I don't know, the sun is kind of blocking out underneath. But there's been plenty we've already got, and there's plenty coming in still. And that is this garden. These bunch onions, I didn't drill holes in the bottom of that. I'd like to reuse it. Excuse me, my allergies are bothering me. Up here is where I keep a lot of stuff in the pots. Got some autoflowers that they're going to be coming down in the next day or so. My echinacea is this stuff that's all hunched over in this line. Not doing amazing in my opinion. Not thrilled. The wild lettuce is doing great. Couple herbs in here. These porch tomatoes I bought with tomatoes on them, they've been producing pretty good. They just haven't turned orange yet. Cabbage in pots in the back. I'm hoping that keeps down on the little critters that get in there and poop everywhere. These are pepper plants. That's my purple basil right there that I started early. And these are all those tea herbs that have come up, including more purple basil right there, along with some other deals, sage and so on. Those are red peppers, not hot ones. Red pepper bell peppers. That's my mint that I've been growing for 3 years. All these tomatoes have taken off with all the rain. Looks like one even tipped over. I better fix that. Let me do that really quick. These makeshift fences are not my favorite, but it is what it is. Those are the blueberry bushes. They won't do anything this year, perhaps next. And here is some basil. So that's that garden. So that's pretty much everything this year. Debating on where I want to plant those pumpkins that I just showed you. I'll get it figured out though. And then obviously I got to come in here and weed badly along the edges. We actually ripped the fence out on accident, dragging a tree from over here. There's the mess from everything I dropped. But you got to do what you got to do for internet, especially when your kid homeschools. Oh, and those are beets, I believe. My daughter wanted to try those. And that's cress. And I planted 1 cabbage in the ground. But that's pretty much my update. I'll do my best to... Oh, green peppers. Sorry, forgot to mention the green peppers. The bell peppers right there and in the back. But that's my update. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. And you can see how things go. Kind of a thrown together garden I had planned, but we had to get stuff out of that room because it was growing so fast in there.